Welcome to the Vendetta Upstarts YouTube channel. Today we have our first YouTube video, and it's an interview with a very important person behind the org Vendetta. Here I am with Nick. Nick, give us a brief introduction about yourself.
Hi guys, my name is Nick Klein. You guys probably know me as Kleinss. I'm the owner and CEO of Vendetta Upstarts. I'm basically one of the founding members of the org, and basically make all the important decisions alongside with my board about the org's full decisions in terms of sponsorships, players, content creators, all that fun stuff.
So Nick, tell us, how did you get into esports and or gaming?
So I have played video games all my life. I started playing my brother's original Xbox when I was about 2. And I played on the DS a bunch of times growing up. And then how I got into esports was really from my stepbrother, who was a pro Call of Duty player. And just seeing how he was playing in tournaments and stuff like that, and me watching different LAN events really got me into esports and kind of just took over my life, I guess.
So as we all grow up as kids, we all have different kinds of dreams. What were some of your dreams that you wanted to do when you were older?
So I wanted to become a sportscaster. That's one thing that I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to announce players and lineups and stuff like that. Growing up, I went to Tigers games because I'm from Michigan. I'm originally from California, moved to Michigan when I was younger, about 7 or 8. And then also an actor. I wanted to be an actor, getting in movies, commercials, TV shows, that sort of stuff I wanted to do. As well as I danced when I was younger, so I wanted to be like a professional dancer. I never really saw myself getting into business until I was about like 15 years old.
Wow. So you had a lot of dreams growing up aside from gaming and esports. So how did gaming come into your life and like affect your childhood?
So basically, gaming just kind of like let me basically control a reality, basically. Um, I went through a lot of stuff as a kid, and really gaming just kind of like was that set thing that I could be able to just sit down on my setup, chill with my friends, chill playing with Call of Duty with Mike, growing up and stuff like that, and just being able to really just dictate what I wanted to do, like make decisions for myself as a 12, 13, 14-year-old.
So it was like your outlet.
Yes.
I would have to agree. It was also my outlet too, of getting away from your personal life and playing games, having fun, competing. Anyway, so what types of games did you play when you were growing up?
So I played a lot of Mario growing up. Mario Kart was one of my favorites. Um, I'd smoke anyone in Mario Kart. You ain't touching me in that. Um, I played some Halo growing up, specifically with my brother. Me and my brother were playing Halo a lot, actually. And then Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was my first ever video game that I played on the original Xbox. And then I didn't touch Call of Duty until I was probably about 7 or 8.
Wow. So growing up and, since you had a lot of experience with gaming and video games, how did that affect like friendships and school?
So it affected friendships a lot. I lost a lot of friends along the way, just wanting to do what I wanted to do. School, it kind of affected it a little bit. My grades started slipping a little bit. And that's why like I tell people in my work, if you're younger, focus on what you need to do. Like focus on school. Gaming will always come later. It'll always come later. Once you're out of school, once you're done with your homework, hop on the game. Do
Yeah.
the there and stuff like that. Don't just like put yourself aside of what you need to do. Like video games is something that you want to do. It's not something that you need to do. And another thing with friendships, it gained a lot of friendships for myself. I have a lot of people that I met in gaming that I can say are going to be my friends' life for a lifetime. One of them is Mike. I met Mike, like 2014, I think it was. Just playing Call of Duty randomly in a domination game map in Black Ops 2. I hit him up, and look where we are now. It can gain you friendships that you never thought would even be possible.
Yeah. Meeting these people, you can meet a lot of people, and these people are just so different, and it's crazy. So what was your story of getting into competitive Call of Duty? Because you have said that you played competitive Call of Duty. So tell us about
Yes.
that.
So I started off with S&D back in Black Ops 1, just playing with my brother and two of his friends in S&D tournaments. Um, and he was really the person that got me into competitive COD. He basically taught me a lot of stuff that I know today in terms of branding yourself, making sure that you're a good teammate, and all that fun stuff. And then got into Respawn about Modern Warfare 3 is when I got into Respawn and competed at LAN from the end of Ghost until the middle of Infinite Warfare. I competed at LANs. Placed pretty good. Won a few. It was really fun being able to compete at LANs. And then once, I'd say probably World War II, my career started going type of a roller coaster, getting dropped from a lot of teams, gaining rivalries in that time, and just not really like focusing too much on the game and really just focusing on a lot of different things. And then finally, Modern Warfare, I decided to call it quits in competing and decided to pick up other things such as coaching and running an organization.
So I was going to ask you, have you had any success in competing?
Yes. I have won 3 lands, and I placed my lowest placing in land was top 16. That was my lowest. And then in terms of competing online, I made it to Kinetic League playoffs back in World War II with Creature Esports. Teamed with a bunch of big name people that you see in the amateur scene now. Sorry. And got dropped from that team in Kinetic League playoffs. And then I've won a bunch of online tournaments, had a bunch of clutch moments in COD, and a lot of failures in COD too, especially falling off things like this, chairs. I've done that at LAN, I've done that online. There's a bunch of clips out there of me falling off of chairs, so that's definitely something I was known for.
So you did touch on this. You were talking about how Modern Warfare specifically was like your downfall, and you called it quits. So like, what drove you away from the competitive side of COD?
Just the community. The community was really bad. Like when I started competing, it wasn't bad at all. Well, I can't say it was bad at all, but it wasn't to the point of where it is now. And especially with like all those like younger players that were starting to come in. Like look at people in our work, Protocol, Surge. Like those people started coming in Black Ops 4, and they started doing better than I was doing, and I was trying to get to the point where I needed to be that player that was a leader. And a lot of people started seeing that the role I was playing was not a good role for me, and I didn't want to switch. A lot of people said I would be better as a coach than an in-game leader. So that sort of stuff just kind of like drove me away. Especially just like I quit in the middle of COVID. It was not a really good time. I was in my senior year. Wanted to really focus on other things. And I've definitely found a lot more success in running an organization than I'd say probably competing in COD.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with all the younger talent coming through. It's a different generation now. So now that you are a org owner, what pro esports teams do you look up to? And a second question would be, are there any players specifically or org owners who you aspire to be like?
Um, I'm sure the number one answer that everyone's going to be like, pro team, Optic. Definitely. Optic has always been that team that I wanted to play for growing up, and that I wanted to be a part of, whether it be as a fan or as a player or a content creator or whatever it may be. Another one is probably Envy. Envy being able to kind of transition to the CDL and win the first COD champs for them. Especially like all the rosters that they've had in the past. They've had some pretty good rosters. Pro players. My favorite pro player of all time is Karma. I feel like my playstyle definitely implemented his, just the clutch factor, just being able to put myself in situations that no other player wanted to be in and doing it to a point where my team was winning. Org owners, Hastro is one of them. He was a player before he became an owner. He played back in Black Ops 1 for Envy. So he was not the founder. People say, oh, he was the founder. He's not really the founder. Hex, he came from working at a company that he just didn't really enjoy. I came from working for a company and being able to switch over to something that I wanted to do and be able to have the sort of success that I've had. I definitely look up to Hex for that as well.
So now that you are a young org owner and you just graduated high school, your first year in college, so what are some second year
in college.
what are going to be some challenges that you think you might face on the way?
Definitely people looking at my age. I'm only 19 years old. Most people are like, oh, org owners need to be older than 23. That's like a stereotypical age for org owners. And another thing is my experience. I just graduated high school in 2020. Like Mike said, second year of college. So definitely my life experience isn't as big as some of the other org owners. And then definitely probably the people I surround myself with. I definitely need to pick people that I know want the same goal, and that want to be one around me, because if you're in the org, you're around me, pretty much. I can't really say around me, but you're around everyone else in the org. It's not just about me. It's not just about Mike. It's not just about Temperate. Like, it's about all of us. So that's another thing that I would probably see as a challenge, just surrounding myself around the correct people.
So right now with Vendetta, do you have 3 goals that you can list out for your org?
3 goals for the org. Definitely getting our Twitter followers up. That is one goal that I want to achieve. Getting our Overwatch team in lands is another one. Hopefully, when COVID starts dying down a little bit, we can get our teams into lands. And definitely helping out our content creators and like our creative side. Definitely want to be able to do that. And I have a fourth goal, just our org being a family. I want that type of mentality. I don't want people leaving people out of stuff, and making sure like all of us are in this together or we're not in it at all.
It's a good mentality. So is it trying to become more like a phase clan type?
Um, Kinda. I would say I don't want to say like we're copying Phase or copying Optic or Envy or any of
Hmm.
these orgs, um, but I would say like definitely just the family mentality of wanting to make sure everyone's included in everything and making sure everyone grows and everything just like that, and just making sure like we have that open communication. Like you don't have to reach out to MSteps to reach out to me. You don't need to reach out to Surge to reach out to me. Like you don't need to reach out to other people to reach out to me. You can reach out to me. Like I want to be able to have that open book.
So with this org, what kind of esports do you plan on going into in the future?
All right. So as you guys probably know, we have an Overwatch team already. That's pretty set in stone. Um, Another one that I want to go into is Rainbow Six Siege. That's one that I competed in for a little bit, um, and it's definitely on the rise again. Um, Going back to my roots, Call of Duty. I want to go back into Call of Duty. We had success in the past, both competing and running an organization, and Apex Legends is another one I want to go into. Just kind of opening, just not having shooter games. I want to be able to have like different aspects to the org.
Different kind of styles of games,
Yep.
different strategies, and gotcha. Sounds good. So are you going to participate personally in content or other ways to help grow your org?
Yes. So you guys will have to stay tuned to our Twitter a little bit about what we're planning on content wise. This is one of them. And I definitely plan on participating in content, whether it be team montages, uh, player interviews, stuff like that. I want to be able to participate. I don't want to just be like, here, guys, here's a bunch of content that you have to make, and me just being like, it ain't for me. So I just want to be able to, especially growing the org, I want to be able to, specifically on my Twitter, retweet the org stuff, retweet players stuff, different members stuff, and I want to be able to have like different showcases for the members of the org.
So you're 19, you're in college. Do your parents support what you do?
Okay. So at first, yes, both my mom, my stepdad, and my dad all supported it. Um, my mom kind of questions it now. She knows I want to go into business, but she's like, really? A gaming business? Um, my stepdad's kind of supportive of me. My dad, 100% supportive of me.
Wow.
He already said, and my dad was always the one that like throughout my COD career was not very supportive. But he already said like he wants to get merch. He wants to watch our teams play. He's already watched some of our content, specifically on Twitter. He doesn't have a Twitter, but he's gone on Twitter to be able to see our content. And went out to our website, and he's even said like, in business wise, because he owns his own business as well. He likes that I'm exploring what options I have, and he's definitely 100% supportive.
That's amazing that your parents are all supportive of what you do, and it makes it 10 times easier than having obstacles and struggles in your way and challenges to prove to them that this can be something and you're trying to follow something that you're passionate about. That's amazing. How do you think that, then follow question would be, how do you think that you can turn this business into something successful?
Like I said, in terms of the challenges, this could also make us successful. Surrounding myself around people that I trust and really just, sorry, basically just surrounding myself around people like Mike, like Temperate, and people that have been in the org since day one. Really just putting myself in a position where I don't have to do everything. Where I have people like Mike, he does operations and stuff like that, and Temperate, he's on the creative side, and making sure like we all have the same mindset but different opinions at the same time. I might say one thing a certain way, Mike might say a different thing a different way. But at the end of the day, we all want the same goal. We all want to be successful in this, whether it be within the next year, whether it be within the next 10 years. Like, we want to be successful in this. And just having the right mindset each day, wanting to wake up, get better every single day. Like, I have the mentality of I may not be number one today, but tomorrow I'm going to do whatever it takes to be number one. And I live by a quote. I put this on my Twitter. Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is best. That goes into business as well. That goes into pretty much everything that you do. In terms of business, me being the CEO, I want to be the best CEO I can be. Mike being COO, he wants to be the best COO he can be. Our content creators, they want to be the best content creators. Overwatch team, they're doing pretty good, but they still want to do better because they got third in CGL. And I already talked to Protocol, our captain. He wants to win it next season. He's going to do whatever it takes to win that championship. Like, that sort of mentality, getting better every single day, is what is going to make this business successful and whatever you do successful.
Sounds like that you have a pretty strong mindset and a lot of goals and plans going ahead. So shout out your social medias.
My Twitter is NickKleinss, Instagram NickKleinss, YouTube NickKleinss, and then our team Twitter, VUpstarts. Our website, VendettaUpstarts.com, and make sure you go follow Mike's Twitter, MSteps_, right?
Correct.
Okay. His YouTube, MSteps, and I'm not sure about his Instagram, but I'm sure
It'll be in the description.
Yeah, it'll be in the description. Yeah, pretty much that's all my social medias.
So thank you guys for listening to our first episode interview with NickKleinss, the CEO of Vendetta.
Thank you guys.